Whether you've been using on-screen takeoff for years or you're just getting started, there are a handful of habits and features that can transform how fast you get through a bid. Today I'm going to walk you through 5 things that you can start doing right now to level up your takeoff workflow, from the very first time you open up a set of plans all the way to sending your numbers out the door. Let's get to it. Tip number 1, set your scale every single time. Before you place a single condition on the drawing, make sure that your scale is set correctly. This is the #1 mistake that estimators make, especially when you have multiple drawings that each have different scales. If your scale is off, every single measurement that you take is wrong, and sometimes you won't always catch it until it's too late. In on-screen takeoff, you can set the scale by using a known dimension right on the plan, like a wall or a dimension string, and you just calibrate to that. Get into the habit of verifying the scale on every page, not just the first one. Different sheets, like site plans versus floor plans, almost always have different scales. A few seconds of verification up front saves you hours of rework later. Tip number 2, use Takeoff Boost to handle repetitive heavy lifting. If you're not using Takeoff Boost, you're leaving hours on the table. Takeoff Boost is on-screen takeoff's AI-powered feature that automates the takeoff process for you. When you run Takeoff Boost, it's going to scan your plans and pull quantities that otherwise would take you hours of clicking and dragging. This is especially powerful on projects where you have a lot of ground to cover fast. Think of this as your first pass. Let Takeoff Boost do your initial heavy lift, then go back and verify or refine what it found. Don't think about it like you're replacing your expertise. You're just using it when it matters the most. And that would be in reviewing, validating, and not grinding through repetitive measurements. If you haven't run a Boost preview yet, try it on your next bid and compare it to what you would do manually. I'm telling you, the time savings are real. Tip number 3, save your style sets into a master list. Now, here's a tip that pays you back on every single bid that you do going forward. Build out your style sets and save them into a master list. A style set is a saved collection of your conditions, your line styles, colors, fill patterns, and measurement settings, all grouped together and ready to go. Instead of rebuilding your conditions every time you start a new project, you just pull from your master list and you can start measuring in minutes, not hours. The key here is to invest time up front. Go through your most common scopes: concrete, framing, roofing, MEP, whatever it is. Set them up exactly the way you like them and then save them. Then every new bid starts with a consistent, organized baseline. It also means that if someone on your team opens up the bid, they're looking at the same setup that you use. Consistency across your team is just as valuable as speed. Tip number 4, use multi-condition takeoffs to measure smarter. Multi-condition takeoff is one of those features that experienced estimators swear by, and new users often don't discover it until too late. Here's the idea. So instead of tracing the same line or area multiple times to capture different measurements, you assign multiple conditions to a single takeoff pass and capture everything at once. For example, let's say you're taking off a wall, so you'll need linear footage for framing, square footage for drywall, and a perimeter for paint. With multi-condition takeoff, you draw that wall one time and all 3 conditions are taken off simultaneously. One pass, you get 3 results. This time saving adds up fast, especially on complex plans. If you're still tracing the same area over and over and over for different scopes, this feature will change the way you work. Tip number 5, open a second view window and start working more efficiently. This last tip is simple, but once you start using it, you'll wonder why you ever worked without it. Open up a second view window while you're doing takeoff. On-screen takeoff lets you open up a second view window of your plans so that you can have 2 different pages visible on your screen at the same time. This is incredibly useful when you need to cross-reference details, like comparing a floor plan to an elevation, or keeping your cover sheet visible when you're working deep into a plan set. Instead of constantly jumping back and forth between pages, you'll have both simultaneously. If you're working with dual monitors, then it becomes really powerful. Put your takeoff on one screen and your reference on another. Less clicking, less scrolling, less time lost switching context, and fewer mistakes from losing your space. Set it up on your next bid and see how much smoother your workflow feels. Those are 5 workflow improvements that you can start using today in on-screen takeoff. Set your scale, use Takeoff Boost, Save your style sets, run multi-condition takeoff, and open up that second view window. Build these habits, and every bid that you do from here on out will be faster and cleaner. If this helped you out, give a like and subscribe to Construct Connect's channel, and connect with me over on Learn About Construction's YouTube channel. We'll see you on the next one.